This is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So in today's Maps ASMR video, we're gonna look at a couple of maps to help you fall asleep. Or if they fail to do that, then at least they'll perk your interest a little bit in world geography. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if so, don't forget to give it a like. I thought I'd start off with a nice cheerful one. Actually, they're all quite positive. I didn't put any controversial ones in, I don't think. This one is how to laugh online in different languages. My favourites will probably have to be Algeria saying rah rah rah, Norway saying hoo hoo hoo, or Madagascar saying PTTR. I wonder what that stands for in Malagasy. Okay, I thought we'd have a nice easy start. So we searched more on Google. We've got most of the world between Africa and Europe, Western Asia, choosing between Jesus and Muhammad, but bless Iceland. They look at Kanye West more than Jesus or Muhammad. I was looking at this for ages earlier on, what pedestrians look like across Europe, so this is when you want to cross a street, I guess. This particular one that we've got here is in Britain when we call it the Green Man, which you can't do in lots of other, well, in Spain the Green Man means someone who flashes with a big coat, because a green man in Spanish means a dirty old man, but yeah, so in Britain we say the Green Man. So when you want to cross the street, you have to wait for it red, amber, and then green. And that's the sign that comes up. But I noticed that actually we are in the contraflow. Most people are walking from right to left, and we are walking from left to right. Except we are joined by Belarus, Estonia, Russia, Ukraine, Georgia, and I can't see any more. Everyone else is walking against us. Of course, in the contest of Spot the Odd One Out, Poland. Poland, why you stood there? You're allowed to cross the street now. Go. Okay, this one absolutely is 100% incorrect. I'd like to know their data source. So, it says about less emotional and more emotional. Now, I can understand, particularly from Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Belarus, Latvia, and I think that's Nepal or Bhutan. I always get confused. Nepal, I think. If that means like they don't show emotions in public, then that's I get that. But if you're saying that they're less emotional, like, is that to do with crying? Because you can't tell me that Americans, Canadians are more emotional than Italians. And I know I've got a lot of Italian subscribers, so back me up here, guys, come on. My friends from Italy, you guys are not less emotional than people from Australia. That is nonsense. I went to Italy. I've been to Italy twice, and they are the most passionate people I've ever met. I used to live in Spain, so that's correct, but why would Italians be less emotional? It makes no sense whatsoever. And Swedish people are more emotional than Italians. Like, on what planet? No. And Indians are not emotional. That is complete nonsense. I have many Indian friends. They are extremely passionate. Also, if this were broken up into the different countries of the UK, Wales and Scotland would be the darkest colour possible. It's the English that are weighing out and bringing the medium down. We are quite passionate as Celts, as Ireland will attest to. Okay. Although I will will say the Dutch people are, but Belgians more emotional. Oh, anyway, I'm moving on. It's upsetting me. Okay, I need your comments on this one. Countries that once hosted the largest city in the world. So we've got the States. I'm guessing New York was probably the largest at one point. Maybe even when it was called New Amsterdam. London in Great Britain would have been one. In Spain, it wouldn't have been Madrid because that was a capital too late, and it's not even that big a city now. Maybe it was Toledo or Seville. Maybe Seville when the royal family lived there when Christopher Columbus was sent sailing across the ocean. I don't know where it would be. Morocco. Would it be Rabat like today, or would it be Casablanca? Tunisia. I'm confused over that. Was it Sfax maybe at one point? Italy's easy. It must have been Rome. Turkey's easy. It was Istanbul, previously known as Constantinople. Iraq. I'm guessing that's because of Mesopotamia, but does that mean? Yeah. What was it? It would have been ancient Iraq. I'm surprised Iran isn't on there, but Turkmenistan is. Is that Turkmenistan? That's Afghanistan, that's Pakistan, that's Turkmenistan. When was that the largest city in the world? Ashgabat. Shanghai, fairly recent. New Delhi, fairly recently. Cairo, it must be. And lastly, Tokyo, which in Japan is the current largest city in the world. Sao Paulo must be seething, because they're always like second largest. Okay, I will zoom in a second on Europe, but this is quite funny. The literal translation of country names map. I was looking at this for hours earlier on. Incidentally, I robbed all of these from Google Images, so you can find them yourselves if you look for them. Okay, a couple of these I want to point out. So, the literal translation of the country names. The village. It's a rather large village for Canada. The United States of Amerigo. Amerigo Vespucci, I think the Italian that found America first. Mexico in the navel of the moon. Coolest one to Mexico. Land of Columbus, Colombia. Little Venice, Venezuela. Land of the river, Peru. Bolivar's land, Bolivia. The equator, just the equator, Ecuador. Land beside the silvery river, Argentina. Argentine, Argentina. Yeah, this all to do with silver in Welsh. We call Argentina Arianen, and Arian means money, so like silver coins. So yeah, all of the words are from argent in French means money, also meaning silver. So yeah, argent, Argentina. Where the land ends is Chile and Brazil. Red like an ember. When they landed, they named it after the forest trees, which are a different colour. Australia, southern land. Russia, land of the Rus. China is the centre kingdom or the middle kingdom, Zhongguo. The land of the Hindus is India. And there are a couple more that I can't read. Yeah, look at these. Sudan, the country of the blacks. The land of burnt faces is Somalia, wow. The islands is Algeria. Aljazair, yeah, I hadn't even figured out because it's an irregular broken plural in Arabic. Al Jazeera is the island, Aljazair the islands. And the far west, Al-Maghrib, is Morocco. The land of rivers. Are there rivers there? In the middle of the Sahara Desert. Okay, next. So, let's look at Europe specifically. Iceland is Iceland. It took me a while. No, honestly, I think I could have worked that out. The land of Eru is Eir, or Ireland. The land of foreigners. So let me just have a little rant here about Wales for a second, okay? So the modern day English invaded from northern Germany, the Angles, because this area here was called like Angland or something. So that's where England comes from, the Angle land. And they had the cheek to say that we who were already here were the foreigners. So yeah, everyone in the world now tends to use the word Wales or a variation of it, which came through English. So everyone is basically taking the mick out of us. We are not the foreigners. Denmark flat borderland. The lowlands, which it does get called, is the Netherlands. The land of the Belgae, Belgium. The land of Franks, France. The land of many rabbits is Spain. Hispania. Port of Kale is Portugal. Port of Kale, Portugal. The land of young cattle is Italy. And then you've got the land of men, Serbia, very masculine. The people from Rome or Romania. Land on the edge, Ukraine. White, Russian, Belarus. Because biel is white in Slavic languages. I love Finland, land. And the land of the sphere. So sphere, I watched a YouTube video and it had a Swedish person explaining this, and they said, so sphere was the tribe of people and rike was the kingdom. So Sverige, which is in Swedish, Frankrike is the French. So the land of the kingdom of the sphere, and over time it got shortened. So rather than being Sverige, it became Sverige. Sverige, it would have been at one point. Sverige. So yeah, that's what modern Sweden is in Swedish. Sverige. It's the land, the kingdom of the sphere. And Norway's just the northern way. Poland, honourable mention. The people of the fields. The land of the Czechs. The eastern realm, Österreich, is Austria. And the island of Copper is Cyprus. Malta is the place of refuge, apparently. Most photographed places in the world. So, highlights are Rio, Sao Paulo, Santiago, Mexico City, places in California, Disneyland, New York, London, and for some reason loads of England, so like people taking pictures of Swindon. Why? The Netherlands and Belgium is basically all yellow, so you guys just take more photos than anyone. In between the red, there's a yellow dot, and that's Paris. Madrid does the same, as well as Barcelona, Lisbon, and most of Western Germany and northern Italy. There you can clearly see Moscow and St. Petersburg, Helsinki, Stockholm, and Oslo. You can see the capitals just by the differences in colour. And then you've got Japan, so there's Tokyo there in the end, South Korea, Seoul is the yellow dot at the top. And then you can see clearly in Australia there's just no one in the middle. Fascinating. So, I've had a couple of comments because apparently in a video I think I said that Brazil was bigger than the US. That is wrong, and I looked into it and I found out quite early after I recorded that video, but Brazil is still massive. And in terms of the contiguous United States, not including Alaska, it's fairly comparative, but still smaller. This is one on sports, so green is football or soccer. Then you've got Ireland, who've got Gaelic football. Australia, they have Aussie rules football as their number one sport. You've got Papua New Guinea, New Zealand and the islands with rugby. Basketball in the Philippines, as well as Latvia and Lithuania. However, Estonia and Austria prefer skiing. Then you've got Canada and Finland, who are into their ice hockey. The US, who prefer American football, strangely enough. Baseball in Venezuela and some of the Caribbean and Central American countries. And then cricket for some of the others, including the Bahamas, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and the UAE, crazily enough. Didn't know they had a team. Sri Lanka as well. Nepal and Afghanistan, apparently. But everyone else loves football. Oh, baseball in Taiwan and Japan as well, apparently. Okay guys, if you are American, you must explain this to me. What on earth is Geoduck? Write your comments now. I need to know. And is sushi rito as disgusting as I imagine? Is it sushi in a burrito? Scorpion lollipops, no problem with that. Jello salad, that's just weird. Rattlesnake, I could give it a go. Lamb fries, sounds nice. Pasties, there's nothing wrong with pasties, thank you very much. Butter burger, sounds amazing. Pickle dog, doesn't put me off. Walking taco, as opposed to a sitting one. Gravy bread, sounds awesome. Sauerkraut balls, give me some now. And then garbage plate, sounds amazing. Sugar on snow, chow mein sandwich. Clam pizza. I had oyster omelette in Taiwan, but clam pizza. Stuffed ham. How is that weird? Sounds amazing. Peanut soup. Fried squirrel. Also, I love the pronunciation of squirrel in the US English. Is it like squirrel? Soup beans. Slug burger. If that's got anything to do with slugs, then no. Boiled peanuts. A little bit of an obsession with peanuts over this area. Gator tail. Fair enough. Possum pie. No. No thank you. Ube and akutak. Don't know what they are, but I need to know what Geoduck is, guys. Come on. Okay, on another video, I talked about how massive Africa is. So if you take the US, it only fills Western Africa, just with space left over. Europe, easily. India, easily. Japan, no problem. China, easily. So the US, China, Japan, India, the UK, Ireland, the whole of Eastern Europe, Italy, Switzerland, Germany, France, Belgium, Spain, and Portugal. Oh, and the Netherlands, I think I forgot them. Can all fit within Africa's borders. That is insane. And a linguistic one. How do you sneeze? I think my favourite ones are hapshu in Turkish, apchki, or apsh, I can't even say it, apshchi, I think that would be pronounced in Russian, apshchi. And then there's one random one, oh yes, Albanian, tush. Okay, so this is the world median ages. So the youngest countries in the world are all in Africa: Niger, Uganda, Mali, Malawi and Zambia. The oldest joint, Germany and Japan, Italy second, Austria and the Virgin Islands. But yeah, looks like our runaway teenager is Africa. Whereas the US and Canada are older, as well as Russia and Australia. And this one is to do with intelligence levels. Now, intelligence levels won't have to do with ethnicity at all, it's to do with resources. and as such, Africa really struggles, whereas the UK, Norway, Iceland, Italy, Mongolia, China, South Korea and Japan, and to an extent Australia, Russia, the Nordics, Western Europe, Central Europe, Canada, States and Argentina are absolutely fine. This one shocked me to my very core. How can anyone prefer instant coffee over fresh coffee? You're wrong. And apparently I live in a country where instant coffee is preferred. Like, what? But then I did used to live in Spain, so I feel like I enjoy my coffee like a Mediterranean person. I love coffee when I go to Italy, Spain. It's just wonderful. So yeah, it says here that it's closely aligned with the global tea and coffee preferences, so tea-preferring nations tend to enjoy instant coffee more, for example, Turkey, China, etc. And this is a weird one, so I didn't know what to make of this. I couldn't draw any conclusions, but the most prisoners in the world, USA is number 1, but it's right up there with Rwanda, Turkmenistan, Salvador and Cuba, so that doesn't look good to me. San Marino, a micronation within the borders of Italy, has no prisoners. Faroe Islands, belonging to the Kingdom of Denmark, has only 18, and Iceland has 29 per 100,000 inhabitants, but I think Iceland only has 100,000 inhabitants, so it probably means that there are 29 people in prison. I think this is fake, but I included it for a laugh. So it says, how do I, written in Google in English in each of these countries, the first suggestion, or the top search. So it goes from the banal to how do I rock, to Spain's how do I learn what human meat tastes like. That has to be a lie. How do I kill without being caught, Portugal? Don't type it into Google is a good start. Sweden, how do I make one friend? Swedish people are not very, very shy. Danish people apparently would like to meet Tom Cruise. Dutch people want to be more athletic. Belgian people, worryingly, want to know if someone's a terrorist. I don't understand the German one. How do I breathe without choking? Like, everyone breathes without choking all the time. That one for the Czech Republic I'm not reading out. Look at Poland's one. That's beautiful. How do I help my parents in their old age? Lovely Poland. Turkey. And then Moldova. How do I steal the diamonds? How do I make a sandwich, Italy? You just put 2 pieces of bread together. France, give up the red wine. Austria, learn to sword fight. And then oddest ones to Serbia. How do you build a hydralisk? And to Russia, how do I ascend to a higher consciousness? But I think my winner is Finland with how do I become an Olympian? Well done. Most likely of everyone is Latvia. How do I catch Pokemon? And in terms of the attitude of the local population towards visitors, this is a curious one, and one that I personally find incorrect. But maybe, I don't know what the raw data was based on. So, blue is the more welcoming and red the less. Now, Russians are quite cold up front compared to, say, Spaniards or Italians. However, they are some of the best hosts you can imagine. So, in terms of less welcoming, they wouldn't and give you a kiss and a cuddle and a hug and ask how you are and do you want to come in, but you'll be expected to come in and they'll provide you with food and drink and be incredibly warm and welcoming. But yeah, so I think it's a misperception. Maybe it's people who've travelled there. Also, I don't think Saudi Arabians are less welcoming again. Most Muslim countries are incredibly welcoming. And then you've got the believable ones, which are New Zealand, Ireland, Portugal, and Canada being the most welcoming. So I don't know what the data is. Also, Swedish people very welcoming, Danes not. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think it's correct. Also, I've travelled loads to South Korea and everyone's lovely, so why would they not be welcoming? Strange. And then speed limits, last but one map for today. Interesting how the Northern Territories in Australia have a different speed limit to the other states in Australia. And pretty in pink, Germany stands out like a sore thumb as it has no speed limit on its motorways. On certain sections, not when you go for bridges, if I remember correctly. The UK is actually slower than Ireland by 5 miles per hour. And the slowest place to drive in the world would be Papua New Guinea or the top of the Canadian territories. And then this is the better scale map of the world, where we can see the true enormous size of Africa and South America, Australia, Madagascar, when compared to the Northern Hemisphere. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I've got so much more content, so I'm planning already part 2. If you enjoyed it, please